So today I wanted to talk to you about karma. In this perspective of African spirituality, we're going to say, is there karma in African spirituality? How does it work? So basically, karma is not a term that you will find in African spirituality. However, as mentioned in my other videos on African spirituality, we have a code of morals. Most of the systems in Africa are based on relationship with the ancestors and with between the people and the spirits, between us in the material existence and the visible plane and those who are in the invisible plane, the spirit world. And so our code of conduct, the consequences to our actions, all of our actions will have consequences. And these consequences may be positive or may be negative, may be useful to you and the generation to come, or may trigger some havoc, some negative consequences, some malediction, as we can say also. And so, in this sense, as I've spoken about in the video about heaven and hell, which I will link somewhere there, assessing that there's no other, we're not looking for other places. Everything is taking place here and right now, right here. So if you do some actions, the consequences are going to be here in the material plane as well as the spiritual plane, and it's going to be either during the time of your lifetime or 2 generations that are going to come from you, if they are even let that come out. So karma in that sense, as it has been shown, that usually, karma is, you'll reap what you sow. There's consequences for what you do. You treat people bad, then you'll be treated on your turn badly, or what have you. I mean, this is a very simplistic, reductive explanation of karma. And essentially, you can take that over and look and find that in African spirituality. One thing I talk a lot about is honoring the ancestors and using ancestors' name, honoring them as they come back, ancestors being able to come back because we are furthering generations by having children and bringing these children there. So the aspect of karma when you're talking about, for example, names. We're talking about, for example, of an ancestor that misbehaved, that was evil, or that was, creating havoc, disturbing people, killing people, or what have you. Just let's say a serial killer, or somebody who dishonored his parents, who were cruel to the community, or did some very important negative things so that the name then carries that vibration. When you do something that's so drastic, that's so negative, it is encrusted in that name, and the consequence to that is that name gets banned. Nobody will speak that name. That name will not be given to other children for you to come back, or for you to even gain energy from that. So when the person is going to be in the spirit world, the first consequences is that it's not going to get energy. People are not going to honor that person. And most of the time people were thinking, when they were going to think about that person, they're going to have some negative feelings. So they may actually be sending negative energy to that person while they're in the spirit world. So that's the first thing. The person as a spirit gets isolated. And that means it's going to make it much harder for that person for that spirit to come back into the material plane, because there's not going to be any vehicle for that spirit to come back to. And this is also, you can also see that in ancient Egypt, when they say a certain pharaoh or certain person was disrespected the pharaoh, and the pharaoh just erased their name on all of the things. It's an idea that has been worded in many films about ancient Egypt. And this is something also to think about, the fact that you can be erased as if you've never even existed. Because one purpose of keeping those names and keeping them alive, as we say, is that we're keeping the ancestors alive as well. And you're being honored each time your name is being called. Each time somebody is telling the children about you, about your action, sending you more energy, bringing that additional vibration, uplifting the vibration of your own name. And that alone is being honored. That, I will say, is the other side of the coin, the great aspect of karma, when you get an energy sent back to you, perpetuity, in perpetuity, in infinity. as you continue to have children, the children know about you and further you, and you come back, and your lineage comes back as well. It builds up a volume of energy that will help you strive. And that's why in certain family you have so much wealth of knowledge, whether it is occultism, financial, all that stuff. They manage to accumulate it because they keep that relationship sacred. They keep their own behavior in line with what their purpose is. And as I'm speaking like this, I know some of you are thinking about the Rockefeller or some wealthy, but no, the people I'm actually thinking about are indigenous people who are still connected with nature, who are still honoring their ancestors, and who may have much more what I consider to be happiness in their life, in the joy in their life, in the terms of being able to appreciate certain things in life that are priceless. And respecting nature, understanding nature, communing with nature, exchanging with nature. This is where you will see people who have the ability to commune with the birds, with the animals, the bears, everything around them, shape-shift and all kind of different things, not because of some sort of manipulation, whether it is technological or whatever, but because genuinely about the effort that has been put on in generation through generation. So karma is not something that's negative or something that's bad. Karma is really something there that to help you reflect. And this is why maybe this concept has been popularized so much, because it is a great tool when you want to awaken somebody. When you take conscience of the consequences of your action, whether it is in India where they say that you can reincarnate into an animal as a way to be degraded or something like that, if you reincarnate in a mosquito, that you don't have that much time to live, or whether it is just as in our own tradition to see karma as a way for you to be the best you can be in this life, in the lifetime that you're here. To be conscious of your action and the decision that you make every day, how you treat others, what you value, how you perceive the environment, how grateful you are for what you have and what you're able to enjoy, and what legacy you're going to be leaving for your children or for the youth that are going to come after you. And I think this is a great value when you're thinking about all of the ancestors that came before us, and thinking about how proud we are making them, and how we are enabling them to come back to this plane if they want to. So it is not something that you should be scared of or that you should fear. Karma is really there to be a reminder for you to stay focus on your goal, to recognize this distraction, indulge in them if you'd like to, but know the consequences of that it could put on standby some of the things that you want to do. It could delay certain things. So just view karma as a reminder, and as you experiment with it, as you learn also, you will discover how to bypass it as you go along. But that's something that will come to you when you're ready, and then you will have the epiphany of karma is really not what it is. But for most people, because I want to do this video to be basic, just navigate. As you navigate your way and start understanding the consequences to every action and every decision, you'll get much more confidence in terms of how you can attract things to you, how you can also avoid attracting certain things to you as well, and how all of that is related together. Manifestation, magic, all of that is really related to everything. When you're manifesting something and you're attracting something, really think about it. If we're talking about energy, that means whatever you're attracting is leaving a place to come to you, creating a vacuum somewhere else. And sometimes I think that's the backside that we don't really think about where this energy is coming from in order to seek us, and as we magnetize it. So just keep that in mind as you explore yourself, as you experiment and experience, so that you find things that work for you, and so that along the way you start noticing the signs on your path, the signs on that road that you're taking, so that you have a deeper understanding of what things like karma are, and their usefulness on your path for the time being. Thank you so much for watching, and of course, if you have questions, don't forget to send them or message me. Bye bye.